Mikey. Joe does not drive his club into any potholes this series, or the one that might be coming down the other side of the bend. That's Atlanta.
No, I don't want to hear about the Braves right now. The only potholes on this freeway are the one between your ears because the Yanks in 6 over the O's.
All right, Mike. Well, whichever way it goes, Mikey and yours truly will chat with the skipper, Joe Torre, Friday at 3.
The Torrey Story riding high in the left lane, only on the freeway and only on the fan. Sports Radio 66 WFAN, New York.
An Infinity Broadcasting Station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon. It's 12 o'clock. I'm Joe Tollison. Call it controversial, tainted, disputed, but when all is said and done, the Yankees win Game 1 of the ALCS, thanks in large part to a young fan who reached over the right field fence to help Derek Jeter's fly ball into the seats. More from the fan, Susan Waldman.
Tony Tarasco says he would have caught the ball Derek Jeter supposedly hit out. Umpire Richie Garcia says he wouldn't have caught it, and he never saw the kid. And the Yankees' Cecil Fielder says that's baseball.
It's a tough call for the umpire. I mean, we all know that. You know, he's moving to the outfield of men's camp up against the wall. And no ball appears, he calls a tater. I mean, things happen.
What happened is the Yanks won Game 1 in the bottom of the 11th inning to go up 1-0. Game 2 at 3 o'clock, David Wells and David Cohn on the mound. With the New York Yankees, I'm Susan Waldman, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
And we will have that game right here on the fan. But first, we'll take you up to the game with Mike and the Mad Dog talking Yankee baseball. Game 2 of the NLCS is tonight. Atlanta holding a 1-game lead after last night's 4-2 win. John Smoltz gets the victory, and for the 4th time in as many postseason games, Mark Wohlers registers the save. Todd Stottlemyre on the mound today for St. Louis against the Braves. Greg Maddux. Rangers back at home. That is next Fan 2020 Sports, sponsored by Honda.
Dokes. Now, thanks to Air South, you can fly to Charleston with airfare starting as low as $120 round trip. For a customized quote or to receive our new brochure, call us at 1-800-CHR-LSTN or visit us on the new internet site at www.CHRLSTNGOLF.com. Charleston Golf Partners, for golfers who know the difference when it comes to a great golf vacation.
The pitch is a high fly ball to right deep. Going back is Tarasco to the warning track. To the wall, he's under it now. And it's taken away from him by a fan, and they're going to call it a home run. I can't believe it. Richie Garcia is calling it a home run, and Tarasco is out to argue. A terrible call by Richie Garcia. It's all tied up.
With a little love, we can help it out. We can make this whole damn thing work out.
The way I saw it, the ball was I thought the ball was going out of the ballpark, and I really don't feel that that he was going to catch that ball.
I have to completely disagree with him. You know, like I said before, I was camped underneath the ball, and it was just routine fly ball for me. I was sitting at the track. I had plenty of time, like I said, to get back there. And I can understand, the angle maybe, but I mean, the kid is clearly sitting on the fence, and then I just watched the replay in the clip. The kid clearly reaches over the fence, not just reaches out, he reaches down.
Then when I came in after I was ejected, I saw that they were interviewing the kid as a hero. And that didn't make me feel too good either.
It'll be a 1-1 to Bernie Williams. Myers deals.
Swung on and driven to deep left. It is high. No score. Look out. Yankees win. Yankees win. Bernie Williams homers deep in the left field seat to lead off the 11th inning on a 1-1 bench. And the Yankees beat the Orioles 5-4 to win Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. Burn, baby, burn. He's done it again. Oh, baby.
Bernie, baseball.
Mike, can you spell paint?
I can spell dope.
At the beginning of the R. Oh, baby.
Nothing can get by him. Turn it on and try him. Mike is a mad dog. WFAN.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you tonight?
the Mike and the Mad Dog radio program, 10th day of October, 1996. Of course, a Thursday in New York. Great job, Jeff Hughes of the Open, Robert W. Gell, Mike and the Mad Dog along the way. 718-937-6666. That's your two-way sports talk telephone number. In what was, I don't care what a Yankee fan says, including my partner, my old man who's all pumped up, all the Yankee fans, a tainted win, a bush play by a 12-year-old kid.
Wait a second. Wait a second. How is it a bush play by a fan?
It's a disgrace, Mike.
Well, wait a second.
Tomorrow, the American League Championship
How is it a bush play by a kid?
Wants to be a hero? That's a joke.
Wait a second. Now, wait a second.
No, wait a second.
No, wait a second. What, do you want to hear it?
I don't want to hear it.
Turn his mic off. I'll start the show then. He can wait and he'll learn.
Don't you dare do that.
Now, first of all, let's start with taint, okay? Let's start with taint. There is no such thing in professional sports as a tainted win. You know what a tainted win is? A tainted win is something that you don't like the decision of, and you decided it's a tainted win. No Yankee thinks it's a tainted win. No ball player thinks it's a tainted win. Was it a tainted win in '85 when Kansas City won a World Series? I didn't hear anybody call it a tainted win. Was it a tainted win when the Steelers won a World Series when Renfro caught a touchdown pass?
They were a better team.
What? Wait a second. Wait a second. That made that game.
Herzog screaming at 85.
That made that game.
Where were you?
Hey, did that make that game? Would that game go to overtime? The Houston game?
No, Pittsburgh was a better team than the Oilers. That was a bad call.
You can't say that.
Pittsburgh was at home. They had one
championship. You can't say that.
No, that was a far superior
team.
Wait a
second. It was 5 minutes left in the game.
Oh, no, come on, Mike. I don't know if it was 5 minutes left in the game. It was a little later than that. And if you ask any Cardinal fan anywhere in this country and ask them about the 85 World Series.
That's not a Cardinal fan. But how about other people? How about objective people?
When I was on the radio in '85 in Orlando, Florida, I killed the Don Decker job. I killed the Royals.
Look, there are bad calls. There are bad calls all the time. There are bad calls in every game.
Mike, come on. In the 8th inning, 2 outs and nobody on base, and he makes that kind of call.
It's a bad call.
Some little kid who thinks he's some hero.
The kid,
the kid is wrong. My case closed. That kid is wrong.
Do you think the kid did that saying, here's my chance to get to the left?
Let
me break on the ball. I'm going to get on Letterman.
You're darn right I think he did that.
Come on, dog.
Darn right I think he did that.
You think the kid's thinking I'm going to be a hero?
Absolutely.
Oh, stop. He's 12 years old.
Oh, cut it out, Mike. He knows what he's doing. He's old enough to figure out what's going on.
You think that kid ran out of
his
a hero?
The kid ran out of his seat and ran down to the first row, interfered with the ball that may or may not have been caught. I'm not even telling you that Tarasco could have caught the ball because maybe he doesn't catch the ball. But that would have been 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the 8th inning.
I agree with all that.
Let's play the game again and see if the Yankees come back to win. And you know what?
They wouldn't have won
that. They wouldn't have won that game.
You can't say that.
They wouldn't have won the game.
You can't say that.
Yeah, I sure can.
But you don't know it.
I can think that. I don't think the Yankees would have won.
But you can think it, but you can't write that down. It doesn't work that way.
I disagree with you.
That's why tainted wins. Look, how many plays have you seen in your life where there's been a terrible call in a baseball game? Is every one of those games tainted wins?
Yeah, St. Louis.
But they're forgotten. You can't even remember them right now. How many bad calls have you seen in your life?
Mike,
how many?
Mike, the St. Louis-Kansas City game is a little different. Now, the Cardinals still had Game 7 to bounce back.
The Orioles got 6 more games.
It's true. I'm not trying to tell you that the Yankees don't deserve to win the series. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the Yankees don't deserve to go to the World Series. What I'm saying is that last night, I don't care what any Yankee fan says, and had Yankee fans leave the stadium last night tell me what a great win. It's a bunch of garbage.
You're going to tell me that in the split second that this happened, this kid who's 12 years old, all this went through his head. I'm going to be a hero. I'm going to disrupt this game. You think he reached over thinking about disrupting the game, or was he just trying to catch a ball?
Mike, I cannot get into the kid's mind.
That's right. Well, you were. You said he was wanting to make himself a hero.
This is what I'm going to say with the kid. The kid is totally...
The kid is... He made an innocent mistake.
Oh, stop making excuses.
12 years old.
Listen, when I was 12 years old...
I don't care. Well, you were an exceptional 12-year-old.
I know. I didn't go put my glove on the field. Mike, you're the same guy who on Saturday
That was a man.
Threw stuff at it. There was a teenager who threw stuff at the TV
in the face.
On a foul ball that had no outcome of the game. Here's the kid who put his glove over the stadium.
That's not the same deal.
Push play.
Dog, the guy kicked Jeter in the nose.
And then for all those Yankee fans out there who love this kid, what happens if Garcia would have ruled it out and taken away his double? They go crazy.
You're right.
So they're a bunch of hypocrites.
No, they're fans. They're fans, dog. They cheer the outcoming game.
It's a bogus play. If you have any fairness in it, you'd agree.
Yeah, there's 2 things here that should have happened. 2 things. Number 1, the umpire should have made the right call, and no one would care about the kid. Number 1,
Well, what is the right call?
The right call there is at worst. You want to know what the right call is?
What's the right call?
The right call is Jeter's on base.
Well, hold on now, Mike. How do you know Tarasco wouldn't have caught the ball?
Here's why. Let me tell you why.
How do you know that?
Let me tell you why. I went back and I looked at the rule book. The rule book states. Wait a second. Let me say
I know what the
well,
rule
let me
book.
explain it to the fans.
You're not asking the
Wait
question,
a second.
though.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Well, can you let me answer? The rule book states a clear catch. On that play, Richie Garcia would not have been able to rule a clear catch.
I agree.
So he would have had to put Jeter on base.
Well, you know what? Take the kid away from the game. How do you know he would have caught the ball?
You can't take the kid away from the game.
Because the kid did something that was wrong, Mike.
But after the kid does it, Richie Garcia has a call to make.
Right, and Richie Garcia should have put Jeter at second base.
Right.
I agree.
Okay.
But if
so that's the fair play.
But
so Richie Garcia blew the call.
And then the kid blew the whole game. How do we know if Tarasco wouldn't have caught the ball?
We can't tell that.
Well, we
can't tell that.
And you would have
But by rule, can you put the kid on base? Can you call Jeter out?
I think it's a judgment call, Mike.
That's why you can't call him out, because it says in the rule book a clear catch.
If Garcia had called him out, you could not scream.
I would not have argued.
You cannot scream.
It would have been his judgment call, though. The one rule that should not have stood there, one ruling, was that the one thing we know. We didn't know for sure if it was going to be caught. I looked at it 50 times. We didn't know if it was going to hit his glove and bounce off, be a double, hit the wall. The one thing we did know is it was in no way going to be a home run.
I agree.
Garcia made a bad call.
Mike,
Now, the other part of this that is totally wrong, which I'll get to and I agree with you on, is all these news outlets, and I'm not going to blame the Letterman show, Rosie O'Donnell, the 11 o'clock news.
They are going to Len Berman, Ian O'Connor, those kind of people.
You're going to blame the sports guys, because the sports guys should know better. The other people are going to run with a story that isn't a sports story. That's their prerogative. But we know the outcome of this. We understand that fan interference is becoming a bigger problem in the game, and all you're going to do by glorifying this kid is have other fans try to interfere to have their moment in the sun, and that's the wrong message to send.
We have his mother going on Good Morning America.
Right.
It's a disgrace. There's only two people last night anywhere in the media in New York who did a good job on it. Dave Sims, who said a disgrace.
Well, did you see everybody?
Yes, I did.
Everybody.
I saw Mark Stevens.
Well,
I didn't see Russ because he was on at 10 o'clock.
Well, so
I
you don't
saw
know what he
2, 7, 9, and ESPN.
Well, we both said it.
It's
and Russ and Steve said it this morning.
I agree. I'm just going by the media on TV because Stevens and Clark didn't say it.
A lot of guys made mistakes.
Berman
And to
did a
glorify
terrible job
this guy, and what NBC did was 100% wrong. The kid made an innocent mistake.
I'm not buying that innocent stuff.
You can't. What are you going to do to a 12-year-old kid?
Mike, he shouldn't do it. That's my kid. He's not running in and interfere with the play.
I hope your kid never makes a mistake in life when you have one. I hope he never. But that is an exuberant thing. The kid's in a baseball game. Why do you think he had that glove on for 8 innings? What was he hoping for? A ball. Did you ever go to a game and root for a ball to come your way?
And you're the same guy, not you. The fans are the same people that if the Orioles guy did that, would have killed, not only would have stoned the kid, would have thrown him out of Yankee Stadium.
You're right.
Steinbrenner would have sent tapes to Gene Buick, said, how could you allow this to happen with the umpire? Yes, he would have. He would have said the umpire, screwed up. How does he allow this to be a home run? He would have sent the tapes of Garcia to the umpire.
You're right.
And crazy.
You're right.
So you can't have it the other way because the kid worked out for you with the Yankees.
I'm not. You're missing the whole point.
No, I'm not.
Because Richie Garcia had the chance to correct it.
And
he didn't correct it.
No, Richie Garcia had a chance to correct the home run.
Right.
Richie Garcia did not have a chance to correct the flight of the ball because the kid had irrevocably screwed that up before the whole situation.
But you don't know if the ball would have been caught or not anyway.
I don't know if it would have been a double.
That's right.
So I can't give him a double.
The one thing you know there is you shouldn't give him a home run. That's all you know there is that you shouldn't give him a home run.
Mike, I'm not making, making excuses for a 12-year-old. You want to make excuses?
I'm not making excuses.
Go right ahead.
Dog, he's 12.
I don't care. He's old enough to go to the ball game. He's old enough to skip school to go to the ball game. He plays Little League baseball. Mike, he plays Little League baseball. He's watched baseball enough. He knows not to put his glove over the field in a situation like that.
Did you ever make an adolescent mistake in your life? Never?
Not in front of 55,000 people with a pennant on the line, I didn't.
Dog, he's 12 years old.
Mike, you make excuses all you want.
Fine. I hope your 12-year-old kid is perfect when you have one.
I don't have a 12-year-old kid.
I hope he's perfect when you have one.
Maybe he will be. I'll tell you right now,
I hope he is. I hope you expect him to be.
One thing. My son will never get in the way of the championship baseball game and think he's some big star when he catches the ball, and then have my wife say, you know what, put me on Good Morning America.
You see, but you're bringing all different issues into it, dog. The bottom line is the umpire could have corrected the situation.
He could have corrected the home run.
That's right.
Not the situation, Mike. The situation
we don't know what the
ball.
situation was. The ball might have hit the wall anyway. You don't know that. You can't correct something if you don't know what it is.
The Fan, WFAN, New York.
Don't miss the Princeton Ski Shop Ski, Snowboard, and Winterwear sale going on now with store-wide savings at over $15 million worth of quality name-brand merchandise at savings of up to 80% off and more. Imagine head shelves regularly $165, only $29.95. Famous Maker insulated parkas regularly $189, only $39.95. Ski suits for only $79.96. Grando Gore-Tex gloves regularly $60, only $19.95. Plus, store-wide savings on the largest kids department, plus more. Don't miss out on incredible equipment savings like Rossignol BC3 skis regularly $365, only $149.95. Snowboard savings like Airwalk Advantage boot, only $99.95. Plus, listen to this, with any ski or snowboard purchased, receive a free unrestricted lift ticket to Hunter Mountain, the snowmaking capital of the world. Plus more. You can even lease your skis, boots, bindings, and poles for the entire ski season for only $89.95. Why pay more? Don't miss Princeton's store-wide preseason sale going on right now at all Princeton ski locations. For more information, call 1-800-ALL-SKIS, 1-800-ALL-SKIS.
Just ask Willie and Susie Brule of Winfield, Pennsylvania.
I drive oversized loads.
And I drive the warning vehicle, flag car. Every mile he drives in the truck, I put on my car.
452,860. There's been absolutely no internal engine work done to this car, and I believe it's due to Pennzoil.
With its revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts. Works like liquid ball bearings.
Pennzoil, it's been working overtime for us.
Quality Pennzoil motor oil is available at Strauss Discount Auto.
Romeo. Romeo.
Hard starts, hesitations, or stalls, hacking away at your car's engine performance? Before you try a tune-up, try Gum Out first. Your problem could just be a dirty fuel system, and the solution could be less than $5. Just pour Gum Out right into your gas tank to dissolve gasoline deposits and restore real performance.
My hero.
Before you try a tune-up, try Gum Out first. From the people at Pennzoil.
Gum Out fuel system cleaners are available at Strauss Discount Auto.
Customer cashback savings on new Toyotas? You got it. Customer cashback from $500 to $3,000 on new 96 models, and you can get it this Columbus Day weekend at your Toyota dealer. For the first time ever, for the next few days, it's a big Discover the Cashback clearance weekend with thousands of dollars in cashback savings on select Toyota cars and trucks. It's a great time to discover Toyota quality. Save now. Get cashback savings on Camrys, Avalons, Tercels, Corollas, even Celicas and Paseos. It's a great time to discover Toyota dependability. You can get big cashback savings on Tacoma 4x2s and 4x4s and Toyota's big full-size T100. But don't wait. Savings from $500 to $3,000 on new 96 models ends Tuesday, October 15th. See your participating dealer for details. So set sail and discover the big cashback clearance weekend at your Toyota dealer now.
Visit your local Toyota dealer during Discover the Cashback Clearance, where Toyota Motor Sales is offering thousands in customer cashback savings. Toyota, I love what you do for me.
Mike and I can scream all we want. I think it's a very... You want to say fortunate instead of tainted? All right, I'll give you a little semantics. You can say fortunate. I don't think the Yankees win the baseball game. That's how I think. I think it would be 1-0 Baltimore.
You don't like the Yankees.
Well, listen, Mike, if this is the other way, you go nuts.
I'm going nuts.
You'd throw stuff at
but
the
you know what?
screen,
I
the
never,
TV.
Dog, you know what, though?
Crazy.
I never say a play costs anybody the game.
In this case, Mike?
I never say one play. You know what? You get a bad umpire's call. You know, do I yell about officials' calls ever? Do I ever yell about officials cost anybody a game? Never. That's one of my rules. You know that. I don't yell about that. It's like the luck of the draw. Was it a terrible call?
Wait, hold on. You yelled about Bill Oakes on the travel with Patrick Ewing in the fourth quarter late in Game 4 of that series.
He came two in a row.
But you yelled and screamed about that.
I didn't say it cost him the game, though. I didn't say it cost him the game. I just said that all I pointed out on that call was that the superstar at home usually gets the call.
Mike, did I say it cost the Orioles the game? I said I don't think the Yankees would have won.
Well, which means it cost the Orioles the game.
Let's see the Yankees with 4 outs, maybe 5, go out there and see if they can get a run.
I wish we could.
And for Torrey and all the Yankees, Derek Jeter in the locker room after the game, not even indicate that they were fortunate is wrong. It's
not wrong.
Have Torrey say, you know what, we got a break tonight. Have at least say that.
He's doing it tongue-in-cheek. He knows he got a break.
He was mad that everybody put so much accent on the whole scenario with the tated home run.
Let me
more so than anything else.
Hey, here's the rest of the Dogs Day. Barry Bonds wants to be traded in the wake of his father's demotion. Well, they got rid of Bobby, they didn't get rid of Barry.
I don't care. Let him. I'm so mad about the Giants. The heck with the Giants.
Not the heck with the Giants.
Now you're going to throw the Giants at me. You know, that's not fair,
it wasn't.
Mike.
No, it wasn't. We'll talk about this. We happen to agree on a couple of parts of this, but you can't see that
Jim
right now.
Gray is a disgrace.
I thought that was awful. And I thought NBC's whole tact on the whole thing was awful.
And how
the idea of making him a hero is a joke.
And all the other media, and how about his parents? Hold on, I got to run. I got to get on Good Morning America. Taking a kid out of school today to go on talk shows?
This is where...
That's a disgrace.
But who should be embarrassed, though, Doug? Us. You know why? Because the media is wrong. I can't blame Letterman because he's trying to do entertainment.
How about his parents, Mike?
His parents are dead wrong. They're dead wrong to take him and run him around town. They probably look to try and see if they make a buck out of this. I mean, it's dead wrong. Dead wrong.
Here's the update with Tolly, Sports Radio 66.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Hey, guys, Yankees in Baltimore go back at it again this afternoon in Game 2 of the American League Championship Series. David Wells on the hill for the Orioles, David Cohn for the Yankees, and still the dispute rages on about the home run by Derek Jeter. It was in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Yankees down by a run. A fan reaches over the fence, bounces off his glove and into the bleachers. Right fielder Tony Tarasco for the Orioles said he would have caught the ball. It goes as a home run, and as we know, the Yankees won Game 1 in the bottom of the 11th inning on a solo home run by Bernie Williams. National League Championship Series is one game up for the Atlanta Braves. 4-2 victory over the St. Louis Cardinals. Javi Lopez, a 2-run single in the 8th inning, winning it for St. Louis. And tonight in Game 2, it'll be Greg Maddux on the mound against Todd Stottlemyre. Baseball coverage here on the Fan begins at 3 o'clock with the Yankees and the Orioles. Hockey tonight, the Rangers at home. They will take on the Dallas Stars. And also, as we heard from Mike and Chris just moments ago, Barry Bonds, the San Francisco superstar, he wants out of the organization. This after the Giants demoted his father, hitting coach Bobby Bonds. And with reports every 20 minutes, I'm Joe Tollison, WFAN 2020 Sports. And this report brought to you by National Car Rental. Drive a mid or full-size car one way to Florida for $9.95 a day, unlimited mileage. Call National Car Rental at 1-800-CAR-RENT for details.
This postseason, you can keep it right here for Yankees games on the Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
Hey, football fans, Reebok and the Sports Authority are teaming up to bring you the NFL Pro Bowl Sweepstakes. Register at any New York, New Jersey Sports Authority to win great prizes, including a trip for two to the 1997 Pro Bowl in Honolulu, Hawaii. The next drawing is on October 21st, with 2 more drawings to follow over the course of the football season. Prizes include trips for two to the December 8th Giants-Miami game in Miami, chances to go on the field at Giants Stadium during a Giants pregame as their honorary guest, Reebok, NFL apparel, and much more. Be sure to stop by the Sports Authority in Wayne, New Jersey on October 15th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and meet New York Giants linebacker Corey Miller and wide receiver Thomas Lewis. They will be there to meet the fans, sign autographs, and fill the Giants Today show. In addition, there will be a drawing for plenty of exciting Giants merchandise. The Sports Authority is the official pro-line headquarters of the New York Giants. Reebok is the official apparel supplier of the New York Giants. Sweepstakes ends November 24th, 1996. See store for details. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
As a business person, I've studied my operating costs, and across the board, natural gas makes sense. These days, natural gas is an even better value. Right now, Lilco is offering a variety of incentives to fit my specific business needs.
That's right. Through 2.5% financing, businesses can lower operating and maintenance costs by switching to natural gas. Lilco also offers equipment leasing, and for qualified businesses, a free gas water heater or conversion burner.
The way I see it, I'm saving money and helping the environment by using clean-burning natural gas, and I don't have to deal with the hassles of a leaking oil tank. Maximize profits, be environmentally responsible. That's good business.
To find out if natural gas is available for your business, call Lilco at 1-800-GAS-2001. The people at Lilco, working harder to serve you better.
We've got something to do, something to prove.
Let's go. Get up.
John Calipari and his New Jersey Nets. A new coach, a new attitude.
I can't make any promises other than we're going to run our butts off, play 48 minutes, and never let up.
With Sean Bradley, Kendall Gill, Kerry Kittles, and Robert Pack, the Nets are out to give New Jersey a whole new look, a new brand of ball.
All right, let's rebound the ball now. You got to go get it.
We're going to give New Jersey the kind of NBA ball they want and deserve to see.
Be part of the action. Be part of the attitude. Call 201-935-8888 for tickets. 201-935-8888. Single games, 10-game packages, or season tickets.
They didn't make me the coach to mess around. We're ready and waiting for you.
Let's go.
The New Jersey Nets. Welcome to the Attitude Adjustment.
Beware of the dog, Mike and the Mad Dog, on Sports Radio 66, the WFAN.
Listen, if this happened in the fourth inning, I'd say, hey, listen, the Orioles had the rest of the game. Mike makes a fair point. 9th, 10th, and the 11th. They had a couple of guys on, a couple of situations.
Couldn't get it done.
Couldn't get this, Maier hangs a curveball, hangs a slider, whatever it was.
The Bernie baseball?
I'm not trying to take anything away from Bernie Williams.
Legendary Bernie?
He's a great player.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Great.
Oh, okay.
Him and Jeter are great baseball players. Jeter had 4 hits. He hit a shot to right field.
Good, though, you know?
They're great players. Wetland and Rivera, Yankees are a better team. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Yankee greatness. If the Yankees lose last night, I have any. You know what? They still win a series. I picked them in 6. I think they get over to the World Series. They're better than the Orioles. I'm not having any dispute with that. I have a dispute with the 12-year-old kid. Mike and I disagree. He thinks the kid give him a pass.
Well, I don't do that. I mean, that's how I feel as an adult. He's a 12-year-old kid.
He actually left his seat, ran down to the railing. Now, where is this security, this crack Yankee security we're supposed to hear so much about?
There was no one even there, so I understand that part.
And Tarasco, I think he's wrong. I don't think he would have caught it. Mike thought last night he wouldn't have caught it.
Well, I looked at it. Here's what I thought. I still think if you put a gun to my head, I think he would catch it. But I have to admit that if you're going to interpret the rules correctly, a clear catch is when you call an out on fan interference. That would not have been a clear catch. It's not a clear catch. He's back to the wall. He's got his back to the wall. Maybe the ball hits the glove. Maybe it hits the wall. So I think you have to at least, if you're going to be fair, and listen, I don't expect any fans to be objective one way or the other. Guys who hate the Yankees love the Yankees. But if you're going to be fair, you have to at least say there is some question as to whether that ball is going to be caught. Right. The thing you do know is that the ball is on the playing field. It is not going in the stands under any circumstances because he took it and popped it into the stands.
See,
so that is something you know. Phillips, I still don't, I mean, I keep calling Phillips because I think of Richie. But Garcia does not, I don't understand how Garcia, who is a good umpire, who is known to be a good umpire, misses the kid. I don't see how he misses the play.
And then he throws Davey out. Listen, the argument I have with Mike is right on one thing. I don't think, let's assume it's clearly caught is the rule. Clearly caught. That was not clearly caught.
Clearly caught.
But here's the problem that I have. You just can't say, well, put him at second base, it's all said and done.
That's up to the home plate umpire.
To me, it isn't. Because what's all said and done is the kid leeching over the stands.
You can't do that.
Because if you take the whole play away and do it again, have the ball in the air, let's see if Tarasco makes the catch.
But that's not how you view fan interference.
But to me, it's marred anyway. Even if the Yankees would have gotten a hit by Raines and scored Jeter, as Jeter said in his post game, I still would have had a problem with it because you couldn't have convinced me that Tarasco couldn't have caught the ball.
We couldn't have convinced you that. And I'm sure a lot of the Orioles, and I'm sure all of Baltimore feels the same way that you do.
It's terrible.
But tainted win I don't like.
It's tainted.
Here's why. I don't agree with that. I don't think there's such a thing because I think you still have an opportunity to play the game, and after that, bad calls go each way. You know, do we talk about calls? If someone misses a double play call in a big spot, next guy gets a base hit, wins the game. It's the same kind of thing as this. Is that a tainted game? That, you know, umpires calls. It's a judgment call. See, the kid is one thing, but then Garcia could have corrected it.
See, the difference in 85, Mike, the Cardinals had the rest of that 9th inning to get out of it, and they had the next game to win. So I can't say the Cardinals are going to have a tainted World Series.
Didn't the Orioles last night have the 9th, 10th, and 11th to score runs?
No, but you know what? It's a little. They were winning the ball game at that point.
Well, they weren't winning by 5. It wasn't a grand slam home run,
If the Orioles lose the series, you can't say it's a tainted series. I mean, you certainly can't say that. Even if they lose in 7 games, you can't say that. But to me, you could call last night a tainted.
But it was a one-run game. And if the Orioles want to blame anybody, Mike, how about they look in the mirror and talk about their defense in the first couple innings of the game?
2.8% of games are won when they trail after the ninth.
Look, you got a hot team who has been coming from behind every game, came behind 3 games in a row in Texas, and came up with 2 in a night to beat the Rangers.
And then I am just...
And plus, there's Bernie Williams coming to the plate in the 9th inning.
Mike makes a fair point. You want to give Letterman, Leno, Rosie O'Donnell the pass? Fine.
You can't. Because
Ian O'Connor making a kid a hero. Len Berman at 11 o'clock last night. I called Mike. I couldn't believe it. He said, Dog, you're 100% right. This is a disgrace what Channel 4 did last night. And throwing Jim Gray.
The idea of calling it a hometown and saying that this is one of the great moments in Yankee history, no Yankee fan out there worth anything believes that this is one of the great moments, this kid leaning over and interfering with a play. I mean, don't bring it down on the field. The wrong message to send, especially in 1996, when crowd control all over America, and even especially here in New York, is a major problem. Don't glorify fans, because you know what? You're going to have them in a place every time they get a... Think about it. Is some kid now going to think, I want to go on Letterman?
Absolutely.
I want to be on the cover of the Daily News? That's where you're sending a terror. But that's the media's fault.
Well,
because if you ignored the kid, look, if the media ignored the kid...
Blame the parents.
Wait, they were
here.
at the game last night. The kid had already been on national TV in the 5th inning.
Okay, but the parents then increase it tenfold by sending him around the circuit saying on the socials, the kid's in school today.
Hey, I agree.
I mean, that kid's at 12. How about let him go to school, you dopes? That's terrible.
And if the lady had thought for a second, if the mother had thought for a second...
I have to hang up now because Good Morning America wants to talk to me? You have to be kidding me.
I never thought something like this would happen to my son. You know, your son,
Your son
okay?
bored the game, lady.
He didn't even win a spelling bee, lady, okay? I mean, let's be honest, okay?
Unbelievable.
You know, if he hit a grand slam in the Little League World Series, God bless him. You know, we'll put him on this show. What the kid did was lean over and get involved in something he has no right to get involved with. I'm going to cut him slack because he's 12.
I'm not
and I remember going to the ball game as a kid myself, wanting to catch a ball.
Okay, Mike, when is the age where you don't cut 15, 18, 22?
Now you're getting into philosophy, but 12 is a little light. 12 is light. If the kid was 16, I wouldn't cut him any slack. Kid's 12.
718-937-6666.
So it's girls' night out. And there you are with your pals, the mob, the flock, you know, the gang, when these people from Budweiser ask if you're up for a Bud party. They explain it's your chance to hit on the guys for a change. So you check your look, you lid your jam, you wake the do, and tonight you are styling, girl. You got it going on, so you decide your game. Suddenly you are whisked away in a zebra-striped limo to another bar for the hunt. And there he is. The beefcake, the cheesecake, the slick slice hunk of burning love. The man.
Hey, how you doing?
So you make your move. But alas, your affections go unrequited.
Yeah.
So you move on. And after a while, you're holding court with 6 or 7 stud mobs, making that first guy look like a panty-waist apron hanging mama's boy. You know, the type of knuckle-scraping, football-speaking, import-drinking Neanderthal.
Hey.
So you pick your prince pet, which run for a bud to the oh-so-green with envy eyes of your fellow hunters. You also win free prizes and a chance at the grand hunt. So, New York, keep a lookout for Bud Fari, coming soon to a bar near you. From Budweiser, the King, the big #1, the Mac Daddy, the Bow Tie, the Golden A, the Brewha.
Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm Al Michaels with a WFAN Sports Quiz. Nolan Ryan holds the Major League record for most career no-hitters with 7. This man caught Ryan's 7th no-hitter in 1991 while playing for the Texas Rangers. He spent 6 seasons with the Rangers before going to the New York Yankees. In 1993, he became one of 10 Major League catchers ever to hit 300 with at least 25 home runs in the same season. He also won a Silver Slugger Award and led American League catchers in fielding percentage. Name this man who played for another American League East Division team this season. This sports quiz is brought to you by Xerox.
As a carpenter, I take an empty lot and build a home on it. I think that's a big deal.
Anytime you can build something, it's a big deal. Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and another big deal is the National Hardware Sale at Sears. You'll find hundreds of terrific values on America's tool of choice.
Mike and the Mad Dog on Sports Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN.
Hi, Mike and the Mad Dog along the way here on the Fan. There are a lot of different issues of this. I think 10 and win. Mike doesn't think so. I think the Orioles would have won.
I don't think there's such a thing.
I think the Orioles would have won the game.
You know why I don't think there's such a thing? I think, you know, good calls and bad calls are part of the game. They're part of the game. That's all there is to it. You get lucky, you get unlucky. Happens to teams all the time. You take the good with the bad. These are professionals, dog. They take the good with the bad.
Mike, I said 10 and win. I didn't say 10 in series.
10 and win? I don't think there's such a thing.
I don't think it's the Orioles lose this series. They got plenty of time to regroup, as they had last night, an inning or so. But you can't say, well, they had 4 innings the last night. You know, Wetland doesn't pitch the 9th inning if they're down 4-3. It's a totally different situation if that ball is ruled. If the kid does not get in the way, that's the first thing. Right. Because you don't know if Tarasco would have caught it.
You have no idea.
And the second thing is, Garcia blew the call, but even if he made the right call, Jeter probably is on second base.
I think he's on second base.
And you can't put him on second base if the kid interrupts the play. And I have a major problem with this.
What do you mean you can't put him on base?
Because if the kid doesn't get involved, how do we know Tarasco doesn't catch it?
Well, what do you mean you can't put him on second base? It's in the rule book. Why do you think fan interference is in the rule book?
Mike, what I'm saying is, I don't want to see. You want to put the Garcia. You want to leave the kid alone and say that's what he does. I want to separate the issue.
Well,
I don't want the kid involved, and I don't want the kid
involved.
Let's do the whole thing again. Well, the kid did something wrong,
Mike. Since when do we do do-overs? in professional sports. There are no do-overs.
Well, you know what? Fair enough. You want to say put him on second? Garcia, 50-50. Also could have called him out. He could have gotten help from somebody else and said, listen, it's fan interference. What do you think?
By the rule book, he couldn't have called him out.
Well, yes, he could have. It's a judgment call. Clearly caught. Maybe two umpires clearly thought he would have caught it.
I think if they were going to look at the right play after looking at it a bunch of times.
Well, they don't have a chance to look at it. They got a chance.
What I did, I think it would have been. I wouldn't have argued if they called him out, Doug, but I think the right call would have been second base.
Well, that's the point. I think after you look at it 20 times, the right call is second base, but you can't possibly say that at the time. You don't know what the call would have been. And I'm not giving a kid a pass. And I'm certainly not giving his parents any break. Who made this? Who? The media. You know what? I don't like what the media did.
I agree.
Sports media are awful, and I don't like the parents taking out of school the second day in a row to put them on talk shows.
You mismatch 45 different issues together, though. There's a game issue here that has to do with the series. Then there's some other issues here. Okay, the first.
I think it's a 10-win.
See, to me, the win. I don't think there's such a thing. I don't even feel there's such a thing.
We disagree on that.
Yeah, because I think, you know what? You live with the calls. Just like you would live with a play at second base, just like you would live with a play at the plate that you find out later on is wrong, you live with a bad call. That's all there is to it.
This is a bad call, Mike, that
you live with a bad
Johnson could see from the dugout.
It's a bad call. You live with a bad call.
What else?
The kid,
we disagree on that.
There's two things about the kid. The first one we differ on.
To
me, this is a 12-year-old kid. This is an act of exuberance and spontaneity. He reached out. He saw a ball coming. He probably thought the ball was coming towards the stand, and then he reaches out.
How about stadium security
we're talking about the kid right now.
If this is the other way, George Steinbrenner would send 9 billion things to beauty.
But aren't we talking about the kid?
I disagree. I think the kid's got to know he left his seat. He's got a glove. He's 12 years old. He plays Little League Baseball. He's been to 7 or 8 games this year.
What does that mean?
He's got to know that, you know what, he's not... He followed baseball as a big Yankee fan. He's got to know that, you know what, I can't put my glove over the fan there because it's going to screw the play. How about just standing on the railing and let the ball come to him?
Do you think he's thinking all these things as he sees a ball coming towards him? You think he's... Now, put that as it may. See, I'm cutting the kid slack there because he's 12 years old.
We disagree. Okay, what else?
Now, you take it from there, that's where we agree.
Finally.
That's where I think the thing is an absolute disgrace. It's a disgrace for the media to glorify this action because you don't want to glorify this action because, A, it sends a terrible message in an era where we have too much fan interference with games anyway, fans throwing things on the field all the time. You don't want fans getting involved in the action. The game is to be played by the players, decided by the players, not decided by any fan at any time. And for any portion of the media to make someone who interferes with the game a hero is stupid. They are dumb, they're dumb thinking, and they're not thinking at all. If they use their heads for a second and back up, they won't do that. They're just selling sensationalism, trying to make a buck, sell their newspaper, get a rating for their show. They're making a big mistake. A big mistake. And we're in the ratings business, too, but I'm not putting that kid on a show. Dog and I both agree we're not putting the kid on a show.
Absolutely
we were
not.
offered the kid last night, and we didn't put him on a show.
I don't want that kid anywhere near this show. He did something terrible.
As far as the parents who are now leading the kid around by the nose, well, you know what? They got to figure out and check they got to get a little reality check and realize you're sending a terrible message to your son. You think you're making him some hero for 15 minutes here. He's going to be forgotten tomorrow anyway, and you're going to have sent him a terrible message here in these 24 hours.
How do you take a 12-year-old out of school to put him on the morning talk shows? How is a parent do you sit yourself and say, you know what, you're not going to school today. We're going to parade you around every talk show we can find. How do you do that?
That's wrong.
Look yourself in the mirror, lady and father, and figure out what the heck's going on in life, because you obviously have no clue.
That is as wrong thinking as the media, as NBC, who are absolute
Jim Gray, Len Brennan, Ian O'Connor did a terrible job.
Produced the game last night, Ebersol, whoever else in that truck made a decision to send Jim Gray down there. You know what? You can't glorify this. The idea that anybody thinks this kid is now a part of... You know, I understand non-baseball people and non-sports people thinking this is a charming story. I understand that. You know, the kid from right field, angel in the outfield. I understand all that. But look at the bigger picture of what the problem is in sports right now, and you don't want to promote fan interference. And if you don't think you're promoting it by making this kid a hero, then you're making a big mistake. The big problem Dog and I have is on a tainted win and on a 12-year-old's first play, which I think is one of just spontaneity.
I don't think the Yankees win the game if that play doesn't happen, and I think the kid should know better. And he's 12 years old. He's been at plenty of games. He knows the rules.
Well, who's playing the rules to him?
Well, Mike, he's been a 7 games.
Wait.
He's a Little League...
I'm watching here guys who are 40 and don't know the rules.
How about his Little League coach?
He's 12.
Oh, come on, Mike. Stop making excuses.
Dog, wait a second. He knows the rule book at 12?
He knows not to interfere with the game when it's in progress. If he doesn't know the rules, why does he run on the field or something? Why does he go run and shake hands with somebody?
Do you know what he was thinking when he was running for that ball? If he was thinking at all when he was running for that ball?
Mike.
Or do you think maybe I'm beating the guy next to me into this? Now, dog, if 8 people are going for the same ball, and they're all trying to catch it, and they all want to catch the baseball, one of them is a little more exuberant than the other and leans over the wall. You're thinking that guy's thinking about, I want to screw up the game here?
When the kid goes to that ballpark, and if you asked him before the game started, now you know the rule, you can't interrupt the play.
No one asked him that.
And I guarantee he said, yeah, of course I know the rule. You can't interrupt the play. I guarantee
you've never seen anybody,
he would have said that.
So he leaned a foot more in his exuberance.
And he's wrong for doing it.
Yes, he is wrong for doing that. But he's 12 years old.
And I think he knows better. You disagree? What can I tell you? I disagree with you.
Did he say afterwards, I'm sorry if I did anything to the Orioles? I didn't mean to? Did he say that afterwards?
Barely. He said, I'm glad to be a Yankee hero.
He also said, I'm sorry if I did anything wrong to the Orioles. I saw him say it.
No, Mike, I'm not giving him a pass. You want to give him a pass?
I give him a pass on that one.
I don't. We disagree.
He's 12 years old.
I think the kid is wrong. You think he's right.
I know. I didn't say the kid was right.
I shouldn't say that. You think the kid,
His action is wrong. I think it was an innocent act.
I don't think it is. I think it's a bad decision.
I think it was, and I don't think it was a decision. I don't even think he thought about it.
12:45 on the fan. Back after this.
So I get on the train last night, and this incredible woman sits next to me and says,
You know, I always judge a man by his shoes, and I couldn't help but notice that you weren't wearing any.
So I explained to her that I was simply en route to the shoe department at Today's Man for the big shoe event that was going on right now. So the first thing I'd be doing after I got off the train was to get myself some shoes.
Oh, I'll bet you're a Florsheim man, or maybe Bostonian. I can see you striding through the city streets in a pair of Rockports and conquering the open seas on the weekends in your yacht-worthy Sabagos.
Well, fortunately, all Today's Man stores carry those brands and lots more. So I went right along with her story. What makes it even better is that, like everything else at Today's Man, all 4,000 pairs of shoes are priced less every day than department store sale prices. And during this big shoe event, there's an in-store coupon for 15% off every pair.
So tell me, am I right, or will I have to keep guessing?
Well, it wasn't my stop yet, but she was getting off, and I felt I owed it to her to invite her along to Today's Man. After all, if she really wanted to know what I was like, she'd have to see my shoes. You need shoes. You need Today's Man.
Did you put the fly rods in the truck?
Check.
Whitewater raft?
Check.
Tent? Check. Mountain bike?
Check.
Camera? Check. Golf club?
Check.
Backpack?
Check.
Hiking shoes?
Check.
Rollerblades?
Check.
Saddle?
Check.
Canoe?
Check.
Paddles? Life vest?
Check.
Hang glider?
Check.
Kids?
Double check.
This is George Pataki, reminding you that right now is the best time to pack as much into the fall as you can. Because nowhere else can you enjoy the beauty of autumn like you can in New York. From the Hudson Valley to the Adirondacks, from Niagara Falls to Montauk Point, on New York State's scenic country roads, only minutes from wherever you are.
Gee, hon, looks like there's no room to bring back antiques.
Trailer hitch?
Check.
To get your free 34-page guide to autumn in New York and to check out all the great things to do around the state, call 1-800-I-LOVE-NY.
The History Channel is celebrating this year's race to the White House with the November Warrior Sweepstakes. The grand prize is a trip to Washington, D.C., where you will ride in limos and stay in a plush presidential suite. To enter, call 1-800-243-1100. That's 1-800-243-1100 until October 18th. Listen for and try to guess the famous presidential quotation from the History Channel, where the past comes alive. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 and older. Void where prohibited. 10,000 calls accepted.
People often ask me, what keeps me motivated to work out and eat right each day?
Oprah Winfrey on the program that changed her life.
The most important part, though, is to understand that it's not as much about the weight as it is about making the connection. It's about caring for yourself on a daily basis.
Listen to Make the Connection by Bob Greene and Oprah Winfrey, read by the authors.
I'm living a better life.
Make the Connection, now available from Random House Audiobooks on cassette or CD. Also in hardcover from Hyperion.
WFAN. Box Office Blitz Thursday.
All right, it's the WFAN Pennzoil Box Office Blitz. We'll take the first call at 1-800-821-6611 right now, and you win a pair of tickets to see a hockey hat trick starting this Saturday with the Devils, the Rangers versus the Flames Monday at the Garden, plus a pair to see the Islanders versus the Whalers on October 17th at the Coliseum. 1-800-821-6611 for this hour's Box Office Blitz. On the fan.
That's making me take a moment to speak to you about a major innovation offered by a longtime sponsor, our good buddies at Men's Hair Now. You've heard us in the past Talk about the natural, undetectable results that they achieve through their permanent hair replacement techniques. When now using the most advanced single hair grafting technique, they are getting results indistinguishable from normal natural hair growth. The work performed is not recognizable as a hair transplant product. Not bad. That's how good it is on men's hair now. They take great pride, they do, in being at the forefront of research and development that has perfected hair transplantation by using a microscopically magnified single hair grafting technique. 1-800-MHN-9595. Find out more about men's hair now and their new breakthrough in permanent hair replacement. Free consultation once you give them a call. Learn about all of your options as well at 1-800-MHN-9595. The work they do is like a medical miracle. Why don't you call Men's Hair Now today on the fan. All right, let's go to the call. Say hello to Joe in Queens with Mike and the Mad Dog. Hello, Joe.
Yeah, Chris. Long time, first time.
Get off the speakerphone, Joe.
This is not a speakerphone.
It's not?
No.
Okay, go ahead. What's on your
I'd like to 3 points, and then I'd like to disagree with Dog. First off, I'd like to say basically it was the security. There should have been security there. Davy Johnson was under the impression that there was going to be security.
And he checked it out, and he looked at the Texas game when they reached over the fans with Gonzalez.
And he's got a major gripe there. Go ahead. What's the second point?
Number 2 is after the incident happened, Garcia had the power to rectify the whole situation.
Yes, he did.
He did. He blew the call.
Which he didn't do.
All right, what's 3?
Number 3 is then the media, which elevated this situation by glorifying this kid's actions.
Start by Jim Gray at NBC. Mike and I said at the time, we said it last night, what was NBC
Well, Joe, you're 3 for 3, so I happen to agree with all 3 things you said.
Where is the disagreement, Joe?
I believe you can't come down hard on a 12-year-old kid. Basically, he's 12 years old. He's been on this planet for only 12 years. A 12-year-old is more prone to react emotionally than to use his common sense.
You know what? You want to give the kid a pass? I'm not giving it. I mean, he's not the worst kid in the world. He's probably a good little kid. I'm not trying to tell you that that he should be locked up and thrown in jail. I think that in that situation, before the game, he knows the rules. He's a baseball fan. And I don't like the way he handled it today, his parents handled it today, and everything else. That makes me put my antenna up the way they have capitalized on this frenzied media to make him out to be a hero. And his parents should, but you know, his parents have obviously taught, you know, this is a bad sign that his parents have taken advantage of this situation.
I went to my first baseball game at 7 or 6. I was 6 or 7.
Right.
I don't know at 12 that I knew that rule. I might have reached out and tried to grab a foul ball myself if I was sitting in that situation. I don't know at 12 if I knew that rule.
Foul ball is different, Mike. Home run.
What, ball down a line? I mean, you think a ball's coming to you? I don't know at 12. You know, I think you're being too hard on him as far as knowing rules at 12 years old.
All right. Danny in New York on the fan. Hello, Dan.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Dan?
I want to agree with the last call. You guys are coming down too hard on the kid.
Wait a second. I'm cutting the kid slack here, so I'm not. Yeah. I think it was a totally innocent action. My problem is with the media and his parents.
Okay, well, there's a problem. This is a problem that goes way back. Remember Don Mattingly hit a home run during the stretch drive last year. There wasn't a home run. A kid caught it. He was a hero for a day.
That was a couple of years ago. It wasn't a home run?
Yeah,
yes, it was a home run.
The kid took the ball over the fence. He was I'd say about a 20-year-old, 22-year-old, and Mattingly signed the ball for him.
It was a home run. It was against the Orioles in August. So it was not an out. It was a home run.
It was a home run.
And the Yankee
security, it wouldn't have been a home run, though.
Johnson put the argument in the right place by saying it was security, but the only way, with the configuration, the way right field, left field is, the only way you can deal with that is to move the outfield fence, and the Yankees should have done this a long time ago.
Let me tell you what's coming, okay? For all the Yankee fans who are cheering this right now because they won the game last night, and for all the people who think this is a charming story, here's what's coming. They're going to basically build a moat. They are basically going to come to a point, it's going to be like rollerball, if you ever saw the movie. They are going to build high plexiglass walls, and they are going to build seats back in every new stadium and change the configuration of these stadiums so that a fan can't get near the playing field anymore. So the idea of a quaint field where you are going to be close to the action is going to be a thing of the past because of people throwing it or interfering with the games. That's where these stadiums are headed, and you watch and see how fast it happens.
Well, all I can say is for the Yankee fans who say this kid's not a bad kid, blah, 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 if they ruled this an automatic out and cost Jeter a double, those same Yankee fans in the same right field corner who went nuts after he did it and put him on their head and gave him standing ovations, they would have thrown him out and spit at him and kicked him out of that stadium so fast you wouldn't know.
I don't think they would have done it. I don't think physically they would have done anything.
Mike, down in that right field line?
You think they would have? No,
they would have.
What do you think it's going to be? Some crowd going to beat the kid up?
They would have cussed him out.
I would have booed him.
And they
told him to sit down. Then what do you think they would have hit him? No, they would have booed him.
Mike, I don't know.
They would have been upset, though, but they wouldn't have done anything to him.
They would have made the kid's life miserable.
They would have
Let's put it
booed him.
that way.
They would have said, sit down, you little squirt, and boot him.
They would have said more than that. You think the right field bleacher kids would have said that? I mean, come on.
What are they going to do to him? What are they going to do to him?
They would have thrown a beer at him, for one.
Well, maybe they would have done that. So maybe he would have
Thank
needed a
you,
little
Jeff.
security.
They should have. Hey, Jeff was sitting out there last week, saw beer thrown all over the place.
Well, I don't
They
even-
would have thrown beer all over the
I
kid.
don't even know if they would have done that. I would hope they would.
Mike, in that corner of the ballpark, now
12 years old, what do you think you're going to do to him?
Now you're being a little too lenient to Yankee fans who have gone crazy for a long... Who last year in center field cussed Griffey out and everything else.
You think they're going to beat up a kid?
Throw a beer at him.
I don't know. You know, that's outrageous.
Jeff,
That's
Jeff, you said out there last week. What do you think they would have done?
They did throw beer last week. Yeah.
They're going to throw beer at a 12-year-old kid.
And they throw beer at every game. What does it matter?
I mean, they basically do, but I mean, they're going to throw it on a 12-year-old kid. I mean,
Jeff,
I'm
you
sorry.
sat there. What do you think?
I'm sorry.
It might have happened, sure.
6 in front of
Well,
one.
that doesn't mean just said it was going to happen means it's going to happen.
No, did I say that? But I said it's possible that they would have thrown a beer at him.
Well, maybe we would have had to get the Secret Service in here to get him out of the building.
6 in front of one back after this.
Hey, thanks for coming out to the open stage tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause for being such a fabulous audience. Speaking of fabulous, this next song is about a truly fabulous beer, Original Coors, with a swing 3-4. I've been to Vegas and Nice. Any French people here tonight? That's where I bought my hairpiece. Not just a president, also a client. But when I want a beer, I head to those kooky Rocky Mountains. Hey, brother, pour me an Original Coors. Cocktails are my bag of tricks. I don't want it shaken or stirred. Wine doesn't give me my kicks. Put a cork in it, buddy. That nutty yellow can is what I like to drink. Hey, friend, pour me an Original Coors. Thank you, folks. Original Coors is a fabulous, fabulous beer.
Hey, Original Coors with 100% natural ingredients. It just might be the last real beer.
Get the real beer taste of Original Coors in the yellow can, available wherever real beer is sold.
Hey, how about that, my friend? Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hello?
Hi, Mom. I'm okay. You okay?
I'm fine.
Good. Love you, Mom. Bye.
Right now, stop at Exxon, fill up with Exxon Plus or Supreme, and we'll give you a Tiger Talk prepaid calling card good for 5 minutes worth of long distance from Sprint. That's 5 prepaid minutes of long distance. And in 5 minutes, you can make a lot of calls.
Hello? Hi, son. How's college? Doing your homework? Feeling okay? Need money? What? Great talking to you, son. Gotta run. Call you next week.
Stop at a participating Exxon station, fill up with Exxon Plus or Supreme, or in New Jersey, make a $3 non-gasoline purchase, and get your 5-minute Tiger Talk prepaid calling card from Sprint. And while you're there, you can buy Tiger Talk prepaid calling cards good for 15, 30, 60, or 125 minutes of domestic long distance. International minutes vary, good while supplies last. See station for details.
Hello, you've reached accounting. Please hold.
No, don't put me on hold. Don't put me on hold.
It came down to what type of carpet. How are we going to afford this? What about installation?
Hi, I'm Bob Vila with another comforting carpet story from Sears.
He said, let's go to Sears.
They seem to be concerned about us instead of the money.
Right.
Tell me about Sears Premier Installation Package.
They made it so simple for you from beginning to end.
Absolutely no pressure.
That's comforting to hear. And so is all carpet on sale at Sears. Every beautiful yard on sale through Saturday. Sale excludes buyer's best buys. Only at Sears, where the experience is as comfortable as the carpet.
Here's Kenny in Center Reach with Mike and the Mad Dog. Hello, Ken.
Hey, how you doing today?
What's up, Kenny?
I just wanted to say that I think the media is wrong for making this kid a hero. I don't necessarily say what he did was wrong, because if I'm 12 years old, I'm reaching out there, too.
It turned out wrong.
And
what happened.
It
To me,
really did.
An innocent act turned out wrong. That's, to me, what happened.
It really did. But then on the same note, then isn't the whole Orioles series tainted because Alomar shouldn't have been playing?
Well,
that's a fair point. In the Cleveland series, you can't say that here. I think you could say that in the Cleveland series.
There is almost a poetic justice. You know, I don't believe in this as far as, you know, anything happening. And a lot of people, you know what a lot of people said to me last night, Dog? Call me. The umpires are trying to get the Orioles.
Ridiculous.
And
I don't buy that at
again,
all.
these acts are too quick. They're not random.
And the
other, they are random. You can't think this quick to do these things. So the idea that Richie Garcia was doing this to help Hirschbeck, it's not true.
And
but you can understand the public thinking that way when a call goes against the Orioles.
I disagree with it, but I can understand. I'll say another thing about Alomar at the Indians. You can't say that the Orioles would not have beaten the Indians because of Alomar. He got I know they got 2 big hits, But, you got it against Mesa, their closer, one strike away. No excuses for the Indians to lose that game. The Indians lost the first 2 games of that series and did a terrible job doing it. So you can't say that the Orioles would not have beaten Cleveland without Alomar because the Indians play badly. They play bad defense. Lofton makes a catch against Freddie Anderson. He never gets up there in the 9th inning, Alomar.
You can't say that.
The Orioles beat the Indians fair and square.
No question.
Should Alomar have played? No. But they beat him fair and square.
But there is a little poetic justice to everything that went on with the Orioles and Alomar thumbing their nose at everybody, and now they get a little rough luck of their own.
Fair point. Totally agree with that. Tom and Carteret won the blitz tickets.
And that's all it is rough luck. Because don't think the umpires in any way got together and said, you know what, we're going to send these Orioles down. They don't do that.
I'll say one thing. Larry Barnett wanted to call strike 3 on Alomar in the first inning yesterday in the absolute worst way.
That was the expanded Hirschbeck strike zone you saw in the first inning. I will give you that.
1 o'clock, coming back.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Now through October 18th, listen to Imus in the Morning for the Norelco Razor 21-day test drive. Each day, someone will win a Norelco Reflex Action Razor and $1,000. Plus, 1 grand prize winner will take home a new Dodge Viper. Get ready for the smoothest, sleekest, and least irritating promotion in America here on The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
An Infinity Broadcasting Station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon. It's 1 o'clock. I'm Joe Tollefson. The talk about the American League Championship Series is still centered on Derek Jeter's disputed home run. But for the players, Game 1 is in the past. The Yankees take it 5-4 in 11 innings over Baltimore. Game 2 this afternoon. The Fan, Susan Waldman, has the preview.
David Cohn started and lost Game 1 in the division series against the Texas Rangers. He hasn't pitched since last Tuesday, but Cal Ripken is amazed at Cohn's season.
It's remarkable that he's able to come back and able to pitch and to pitch, at the level that he's able to pitch, period. And so if you just look at it that way, he gives you a strong opportunity and a strong outing. He's very difficult to hit.
David Wells goes for the Orioles to try and even the series for Baltimore. Game time 3:05. With the New York Yankees, I'm Susan Waldman, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
And we will have the Yankees and Orioles right here on The Fan following Mike and the Mad Dog. And Game 2 of the National League Championship Series is this evening as well. And it'll be Atlanta going up against St. Louis. The Braves winning the opener last night 4-2. And on the mound today, Greg Maddux for Atlanta, Todd Stottlemyre for St. Louis. And the Rangers take home ice. We'll have that next. Fan 2020 Sports is sponsored by Air Canada.
Air Canada.
From where you are to wherever business takes you in Canada.
And this is how you want to get there.
Now with 6 nonstop flights each business day, you can travel nonstop from LaGuardia to Montreal from just $121.92 round trip. Montreal, $121.92 round trip.
Taxes included. Tickets are non-refundable. 3-day advance purchase, minimum, maximum stay, and other conditions apply.
Montreal nonstop, $121.92 round trip. More nonstops to Montreal.
From Air Canada.
WFAN 2020 Sports Time is 1:02. Rangers still looking for their first win of the young NHL season. 0-1-2 through 3 games. They host the Dallas Stars tonight at the Garden. Once again playing without captain Mark Messier. He serves the second half of his 2-game suspension for a check from behind in the home opener against Florida. The Rangers salvaging a tie in Florida on Tuesday when Adam Graves scored with 32 seconds to play. And Dallas and the Rangers tonight coverage on 10:50 a.m. at 7:05. Also, it is a training camp underway for the Knicks, and today is Media Day. We get more on that from John Minko.
As media days goes, this one took more of a mellow atmosphere than others, perhaps because of the Yankee playoff action. Some things to note: final year of Patrick Ewing's contract says he wouldn't mind playing another 5 years. Chris Childs wouldn't get into any rivalry discussion, Knicks, Nets, attitude, etc. Likes the security. And John Stark says he's fine with his new role. He'll be coming off the bench. We'll see some action at the point as well. With the Knicks at purchase, this is John Minko, Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
And in golf at the Dunhill Cup, the United States, a 2-1 win over Italy in today's matches. But the story was Mark O'Meara. He is the first golfer ever to birdie 8 straight holes at the old course at St. Andrews. Had a shot at the course record. He finished with a 63. The course record is 62, but O'Meara, a double bogey on the road hole, the 17th. WFAN reminding you the Giants are asking all fans to bring their used coats to the Giants-Eagles game this Sunday the 13th. They kick off their annual coat drive, coats to be distributed throughout the metropolitan area to needy organizations. Fan weather for today: cloudy, breezy, high of 63. Tonight, partly cloudy, the low 45. For tomorrow, sunny, high of 55. And the current Central Park temperature, 59 degrees under cloudy skies. That's what's happening. I'm Joe Tollison with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the home for today's Yankee playoff game at 3 o'clock.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
Two quickies, Mike. I'm getting all these faxes. Doggy, this is the San Francisco Giants. You beat differently, blah, blah, blah. That's not true. And the Orioles were tainted against the Indians. Well, we already went through that. That's not the case. Here is the good governor of this state. He's George Pataki, who joins us from Albany. Governor Christopher Russo and Mike Francesa, nice to have you aboard our radio program today.
Yeah, hi, Chris. Nice talking to you. Nice talking with you, Mike. I've always been a big fan of you guys. When I used to be able to get home at drive time, I'd listen to you. I haven't had a chance to get home at drive time much lately, but I'm honored to be on with you today.
Well, is it a slow day in the state's capital, Governor? What?
No. I don't think that ever happens, Mike. But,
so what do we owe this call?
Well, I know there's a lot of controversy about the home run last night, and you guys had some opinions, and I just wanted to let you know my thoughts.
We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, if anybody's entitled to hear our opinion, it's the governor of New York State.
Well, I'll tell you, everybody's been so critical of the call and of the kid, and I think that's just ridiculous. The kid sits in the front row with a glove. Someone hits a fly ball to him. Why did he bring the glove? He reaches out, tries to catch it. My true feelings on this is a kid is a kid and a call is a call. The umpire said it was a home run. He blew the call. It's over. You know.
Would you be saying this, Governor, if it went against the Yankees in that situation?
Absolutely. And it's the same thing when it went against the Jets last week with Keyshawn Johnson. You know, that was the call. It was a bad call. It should have been a touchdown. The Jets could have won the game, but you have to live with what happened and move on. And that's why they have 7-game series.
Governor, how about the idea of glorifying the kid, though, and the idea that we have a lot of problems controlling the crowds as it is? You might try to this might promote the crowd to be a little more unruly.
Well, Mike, I don't think you glorify the kid because he was just a 12-year-old acting as a 12-year-old is going to do under the circumstances. But you do have to now make it very plain that any fan interference is going to be held against the home team, because clearly there's a difference between a 12-year-old kid spontaneously reaching out for a fly ball and somebody now, some adult, being out there saying, aha, this is my opportunity to do something. So I agree. You don't glorify the kid. You send a strong message that kids can be kids, but we expect people in the crowds to behave appropriately.
And the dog hates the kid because of the fact that he's on Letterman tonight. Letterman doesn't call a dog anymore.
He's jealous, but what can you say?
Yeah, the one thing, though, Governor, you know those Yankee fans out there in right field, if Garcia had made the correct call and even, say, ruled it on his judgment and out instead of a double, and that play cost the Yankees a double, those Yankee fans in the right field line would have gone crazy on that little 12-year-old kid.
Yeah, but I don't think that had anything to do with it. The umpire really blew the call. That happens. That's why you don't have a one-game World Series or playoffs. That's why you have to win a bunch of them. It evens out over time, and it'd be very different if you had some 25-year-old person out there with a net trying to interfere with the game. A 12-year-old kid is going to be a 12-year-old kid. You don't have instant replay in baseball. I think you should have it in football. I don't think you should have it in baseball. You got to live with the call and move on.
Mike and the Mad Dog with Governor Pataki. And, Governor, you don't have to worry about the kid anyway. He's from Jersey.
Well, that explains why he leaned over. But
Yeah, see, I have a problem with that 12-year-old getting involved in the play. You say he's 12 years old. Where is your age where you say he shouldn't do it? When does he know not to lean over in the play?
Chris, there's a big difference between a kid and an adult. A 12-year-old kid with a glove at a game is going to act like a 12-year-old kid. He doesn't have the maturity. He's not sitting there calculating that, I can interfere with the outfielder. He's just reaching out to catch a ball.
Don't you think he knows before the game starts that he shouldn't? He's a baseball fan. He's been to 5 or 6 Yankee games the whole bit. Don't you think he knows that he should not interfere with the play in play?
I think a 12-year-old kid is going to react spontaneously. The whole crowd is out there. Everybody's cheering. They're all reaching out for the ball. And the 12-year-old kid has his glove. He's going to reach out. I don't think it was anything other than just the spontaneous act of a kid. And a kid is a kid, and a call is a call. The umpire blew the call. You have to live with it. The Yanks are up 1-0, and let Baltimore move on.
And, Governor, would you please explain to my partner that sports, like in politics, there's no such thing as a tainted victory?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Mike. You win or you don't. And clearly the Yanks have won. It's over. They're going to win the next ones as well. But I think in the long run, these things balance out, and it's time for Chris and the Orioles to just move on.
Well, let's ask you a little sports stuff. You're a big sport. You mentioned the Keyshawn playing the end zone, so obviously, Governor, you follow all the sports. Huh?
Chris, I've been a Jets fan for 30 years when they were the Titans, and this is a tough year.
Yeah, I would say. Governor, does it bother you the way New York is depicted? I mean, if you went on a Baltimore station, I've tried to pick it up in my car on the way home last night. They say, just another case of somebody getting robbed in the Bronx, somebody getting robbed in New York.
That's just totally wrong. I think the way the fans with Alamart reacted appropriately without any real problems at all shows that New Yorkers are great fans, and I think we'd be better off if we had the Giants and the Jets back in New York. But the fans that are here, I think, are the best in the country, and it's just unfortunate that someone will use the spontaneous act of a 12-year-old kid to try to send a message about New York.
Well,
be very positive.
As kids, as folks and their families and people are driving to Yankee Stadium right now for a 3 o'clock start, what are you going to do as governor to try and keep the Yankees in the state of New York?
Well, they belong in the state of New York, and we want to work with the city and the Yankees in whatever way is reasonable to make sure they stay here. But we're not going to write a blank check to a private company. It's got to be a decision that George makes. I hope he decides to stay in the Bronx. I think the Yankees are playing very well. The Yankee Stadium is a wonderful place to go see a game. We have to do something about the traffic. We have to do something about parking. We can do things like have a Metro North station right at the stadium. My first goal is to see them stay at Yankee Stadium. We do whatever is reasonable to see that happens. And we're going to work with them to try to make sure they do stay in New York, but we have to be reasonable.
So you would not go along with the idea that Yankee Stadium is a ballpark that's 70 years old? It's sort of obsolete in 1996 baseball. You would not go along with that thinking?
I think you have to do things. You want to put in sky boxes and some of the other things to bring it up to date. But the Yankees are the Bronx Bombers. And I've been to the stadium. I went with my kids on Father's Day. It's a great place to see a game. We got to do something about the traffic and some of the other things. But I just think that it would be wrong for the Yankees to leave New York and to leave the Bronx, and certainly to leave New York.
Well, do you agree with the mayor of New York's philosophy if they have to decide to move the Bronx to build that multi-purpose thing on the west side?
Well, we'll certainly take a look at it. It becomes a matter of dollars and cents, and I think we should work to try to keep them in New York, but you can't write $100 million or a multi-$100 million check to keep the Yankees in New York. It has to be something that is reasonable, not just for those of us who root for the Yankees and want them to be here, but for all the people of the state.
Isn't Kemp your big good buddy?
Yeah, Kemp is a great. I was an AFL fan with the Jets and the Buffalo Bills back when he and Darryl LaMonica were up in Buffalo, and it's just great to see him now back again on the national field, and I think he's just doing great.
Well, they're about 20 points back in the fourth quarter. You're looking for a big comeback or what?
No question. He can go deep still, and I think they can score a lot.
Governor, thanks for a few minutes. Keep on listening, and thanks for a couple of minutes today. Appreciate that.
Chris and Mike, nice being with you, and keep up the great job. We're all very proud of what you do.
Thank you, Governor.
Take care.
Governor Pataki talking about the whole thing. He wants to give the kid a pass because he's 12 years old.
I thought I was going to have to get a stay from the governor to keep the kid out of jail. I mean, with you.
I don't buy it. Boy, I don't buy it.
12 years old. Would you imagine you at 12, dog, at 2:05, I have the principal of Dog's Prep School coming on to talk about Dog at 13.
I won the Headmaster's Award. He likes me. On the Fan, 113, back after this.
If you're like me, you love baseball caps. And if you're like me, you search for that special or hard-to-find cap for days, sometimes weeks before you finally track it down. Well, cap lovers, say goodbye to the days of the hunt. Write down this number, 1-888-908-4637. It's your direct line to Starstruck. Starstruck not only specializes in your favorite fitted major and minor league caps by New Era, the official cap of Major League Baseball. Starstruck also has those rare and hard-to-find caps from the Russian Baseball League, the Chinese Basketball League, the Arizona Fall League, and, of course, the Hawaiian Baseball League. And, you know, they don't stop there. Call Starstruck at 1-888-908-4637 to get the cap from your favorite NCAA team, over 80 schools in stock, along with teams from the NFL, NBA, and NHL. They even have caps from the International and East Coast Hockey Leagues, Roller Hockey International, and my favorites, those old-timers in the baseball Cooperstown collection. Call Starstruck at 1-888-90-TIMES. Ask for their 36-page full-color catalog. 1-888-90-TIMES. 1-888-908-4637. Starstruck. Call them now.
Ever notice how one little irritating thing can ruin your whole morning? Take shaving, for instance. Maybe you get a little too close with your blade razor and scrape yourself. And maybe you get irritated. And maybe in your irritation, you cut the guy off on the freeway and irritate him. And maybe he irritates the guy next to him. And before you know it, everyone's annoyed. So maybe you'd rather spend the morning with something a little less irritating, like the new Norelco Reflex Action Razor. It automatically adjusts to every curve and contour of your face for a great shave. And it's even clinically proven to shave with less irritation than a blade. In fact, 94% of those who've used it would recommend it to others. Try the new Norelco Reflex Action risk-free for 21 days. Then you'll see for yourself. Go ahead, before this turns into this. Norelco. Anything closer could be too close for comfort.
On the Fan, Mike and the Mad Dog along the way, 1:15. I heard the governor. The one thing I would say is the Jets would have lost that game with the Redskins, even if the call was correct. The Orioles, I don't think, would have lost last night.
I agree one thing with the governor, though. Call is a call. Part of the game.
1:15. Bob Watson will agree, although he will probably not agree with my feelings of a tainted win. Bob, nice to talk to you today. Chris and Mike, how you doing?
All right, guys.
Bob, I think a tainted win last night. My partner here doesn't think so. That's part of baseball. Deal with it. Do you feel any way sort of gypped out that the way that game ended out in that bottom of the 8th inning?
No, I tell you what, an umpire, if he's out trying to make a call, everybody has to realize that, that happens really fast, and everybody at home has the availability of instant replay, slow-mo, and they're actually able to make a call. But this man is out there, and this is the human side of the game. This is something that is not the first time it's happened, and we are going to try to take some steps today to keep it from happening again. But fans are going to be fans.
Bob, but Davey made the point of he had been promised added security. Was he let down in that area?
Well, no, the security was beefed up. I mean, we beefed up security in a number of areas, for the Alomar situation. And, we had a call go against us, in a sense, against the Texas situation with Juan Gonzalez hit a ball down the left field line, and the guy sitting in foul territory leaned over at the foul pole. Does it hit the foul pole or not? We don't know.
That would have been a home run, though, Bob.
Okay, well, all right, but due to all of those things that have happened, we have had beefed up security.
Well, what are you doing today? You said you're going to do some things today. What are you going to do?
We're going to beef it up even more. We're going to put more bodies out there and just try to, to hold the fans back.
But you know what, Bob? There were bodies out there last night. You look at on the replay about the 20th, 25th time, and you see a couple of event staff people doing absolutely nothing when the fans reached over and got down to the railing. So maybe it wasn't so much the bodies as it was they didn't do their job properly when out there on the aisle.
Well, that's something that, stadium ops and the security people have been briefed on again today. We will do whatever we can to try to, to make that situation lesser chance of happening.
Bob, how much have you increased the security? How many bodies have you increased?
I can't give you a number on it, but let me tell you, it's quite a bit more.
You double it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to give out the exact details, but we have increased security.
Are you going to line that wall there or no?
What do you mean line?
I mean, you're going to put a whole string of guys along the wall there so no one can get near the wall in right field?
Well, we're going to try to do what we can. There's another area, too, right down the foul line down there. The young man made a complaint about the foul line. So we're going to do the best we can.
What do you think the proper call, Bob, after you have seen it about 15, 20 times, as much as everybody else? What do you think the proper call should have been on the play that Jeter hit the ball in the right field?
Probably a ground rule double. We had a situation out in Seattle where a ground rule double was called on a Edgar Martinez home run that the fan leaned over and they called it. They gave him a ground rule double, and I think by watching it, what do you say, 15, 20 times, I don't think Carrasco catches the ball because he didn't leap for the ball. I think it's going to hit off the top of the wall.
After watching it, I think ground rule double is the equitable call also.
Listen, I don't disagree with you. I could live with a man on second base and one out in that situation, but I don't think you can definitively say that Carrasco would not have caught the ball, Bob.
Well, again, we are sitting here debating. I don't know. If I was the ump, I probably would have called it a ground rule double, so that's just my opinion.
How about Bernie's homer in the 11th, and what sort of job he's done here in this postseason? He's been unbelievable.
Oh, he's been unbelievable. And, in a short series, when a guy gets hot, he can carry a ball club, and he's definitely carried us through the first set of games, and he is continuing on. Him and Jeter have just been outstanding.
Bob, do you have to have I know your manager makes these calls on a lineup, but do you guys have to sit down and maybe have a little heart-to-heart talk, especially with Boggs and maybe O'Neill, and tell these guys, listen, if you're hurt, you can't play?
Well, that's something that we definitely are going to talk about today. I think Mr. Boggs gets a little reprieve today because of the left-hander. Hayes was going to start anyway.
But you have to wonder, Bob, if he can help you for the whole series. He looked awful last night.
Well, you're absolutely right, and he'll probably be the first to admit it that he didn't swing well. We'll just see what happens. Joe and I and his staff, Don Zimmer, we're going to talk about all this along with the hitting coach Chris Shamlis and the medical people. They play a part in this also.
Will O'Neill be in right today against the left-hander?
I don't know. He's taking BP as we speak right now, and Joe Torre is standing right there, and we'll make a call after BP.
Would you expect Rivera, who threw about 41 pitches, not to be able to pitch today, Bob, based on pitching so much last night?
I think it would be very questionable if he pitches today, since we have 6 more games to play and we're playing 4 in a row.
Bob, did the Orioles officially or unofficially, or to you or to Yankee representatives, have they voiced their displeasure to the league or to you about what happened last night?
They voiced their displeasure to the league.
They did?
Yes.
Do you know what they...
I don't know the outcome of all of that is. That was taking place this morning.
Are you friendly with Gillick? Did Gillick talk to you personally about that whole situation, Bob?
Not after. No, we have not had any contact after that situation.
And how about this last night playing a game under protest based on the security issue?
That's why they had the meeting this morning. I don't think they can win that protest, but they had meetings with the league president today.
All right, Bob. Thanks for a few minutes. Appreciate. Good luck in game 2.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
121 here on the fan.
Security.
Right.
As far as Mariano today, Doug, 44 pitches last night. He won't pitch.
I wouldn't think so. On the fan, we'll take a break. Back after this.
People always ask me why, with so many newfangled beers out there, I still prefer the real beer taste of original Coors. Well, the reason's as obvious as the nose in your face. Because it's original. After all, originality is how we took the spirit of old Western pastimes like buffalo chip tossing and transformed them into modern-day classics, like Frisbee golf. And it's why, while the rest of the nation still plays polo on horses, we now play it on mountain bikes. No doubt it was an original idea in 1873 to use the clean, crisp water of the Rocky Mountains, not just to water the horses, but to brew a beer with real taste. And that's why the 100% natural beer in the yellow can remains to this day one of life's supremely original pleasures. Original Coors. It might just be the last real beer.
Get the real beer taste of original Coors in the yellow can, available wherever real beer is sold.
Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Don't miss the Princeton Ski Shop Ski, Snowboard, and Winter Wear Sale going on now with store-wide savings at over $15 million worth of quality name brand merchandise at savings of up to 80% off and more. Imagine head shells regularly $165, only $29.95. Famous Maker insulated parkas regularly $189, only $39.95. Ski suits for only $79.96. Grando Gore-Tex gloves regularly $60, only $19.95. Plus, store-wide savings on the largest kids department, plus more. Don't miss out on incredible equipment savings like Rossignol VC3 skis regularly $365, only $149.95. Snowboard savings like Airwalk Advantage boot, only $99.95. Plus, listen to this, with any ski or snowboard purchased, receive a free unrestricted lift ticket to Hunter Mountain, the snowmaking capital of the world. Plus more. You can even lease your skis, boots, bindings, and poles for the entire ski season for only $89.95. Why pay more? Don't miss Princeton's store-wide preseason sale going on right now at all Princeton ski locations. For more information, call 1-800-ALL-SKIS, 1-800-ALL-SKIS.
It's Thursday night, and without even thinking, you know exactly what you'll be watching on television. Well, think again, because the biggest night of television gets even bigger. Tonight, Steven Spielberg and Steven Bochco have come to ABC Thursday, and suddenly, deciding what to watch isn't automatic anymore. The action starts with Spielberg's highly acclaimed High Incident. Then, it's the season premiere of Bochco's Murder 1. If you thought it was suspenseful last season, prepare yourself for 3 murders this year. So now that you've got a choice on Thursdays, we have a suggestion. Take some action.
Don't miss an all-new High Incident at 8 and the season premiere of Murder 1 at 9, only on ABC 7.
Our healthcare survey indicates we're number 1.
Internal studies prove our indisputable reach.
A recent poll, doctor, shows beyond...
How are you expected to choose a health plan today? They all blend together in a blur of research claims. Research many health plans paid for themselves. The only smart way is to look closer to the unbiased proof of independent studies, like the National Research Corporation study that named Physicians Health Services one of America's top 10 health plans, and the recent U.S. News & World Report cover story on America's top HMOs, where PHS earned 3 stars in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. So ignore the blur of self-serving corporate claims.
Our own research, our poll, our survey.
And choose Physicians Health Services, the health plan with a tri-state network of 28,000 quality providers. Our plans are available through the Guardian and PHS Healthcare Solutions. PHS, the closer you look, the better we look.
Sports Radio 63, the fan, WFAN, with Mike and the Mad Dog.
There are department stores, clothing stores, all saying they can give you the best deal on a new suit, a sports coat, a pair of slacks. But honestly, are they going to give you clothes for the same wholesale prices that they paid for them? Of course not. Now, where do the stores go? They go to a warehouse. Where do you go now? To a warehouse. At Men's Designer Clothing Warehouse, Carlstadt, New Jersey. You simply put Men's Designer Warehouse as an actual warehouse where you can pick clothes right off the rack before they're shipped to department stores and marked up. Luxury cashmere overcoats, $149. Gabardine slacks, $49. 100% wool suits, $149. Blazers, $99 as well. They even have tuxedos for under $150. Men's Designer Warehouse, 60 Broad Street, Carlstadt, New Jersey, right behind Giant Stadium. For info and store hours, call 201-935-6939. That's 201-935-6939. Fall here, why overpay for your new wardrobe? Now you can pay exactly what major department stores pay before they mark up their prices. Men's Designer Warehouse, worth the trip. On the fan. 126, we're here till 2:50. Yankee game at 3. Then Dog and I will do a post game. Then we'll take you off to the Braves and the Cards. The Braves, everyone forgets about that series in New York. Up game 1 as Javier Lopez, who continues to do it time and time again, gets a. So what? It was, you know, it was a little flare, but what the heck? He knocked in 2 runs and they won the game 4-2.
Mike, 2 quickies on that real quick. First off, you know, he has so much confidence in Smoltz, or a lack of confidence in anybody else. In the 7th inning, 2-2, first and second, with Alisair up, Tony La Russa has to lay down a bunt.
I couldn't understand it. When you got Alisair up, you're going to pinch hit Willie McGee next. Why wouldn't you bunt Alisair?
Unless he doesn't want to lose McGee's bat. But you know what?
Let him walk
and with 1 out.
And go to the top of the order. I was shocked.
Terrible job by La Russa. Smoltz got out of the inning. something else. In the bottom of the 7th in a 2-2 game in the playoffs, after he gives up a run in the top of the 7th, you would think that the manager in that spot would take his starting pitcher out. He leaves Smoltz in. I'm telling you, to me, it's really an indictment on that middle relief. He will go Smoltz, Maddox, and Glavine as far as he can to get the Wohlers. And if they get to Wohlers in the 9th inning with a lead, they win the game. The Yankees and the Braves, who have both won some amazing games over the Yankees this year, Braves for the last 5, that would be really two incredible objects moving towards each other because they're both so used to coming from behind and winning, getting big hits. Somebody would have to crack in that situation in the next series if they get that far. It'd be very interesting. But Mike's right. How does Odyssey not bunt in the 7th
I was
inning?
shocked, dog. I've seen a couple of things from La Russa that have surprised me. Not turning Caminiti around in the 8th inning the other night, and he had a home run, and this here. I couldn't believe Alisea didn't bunt. Bottom of the order, you got your 8-hitter up, you got your pinch hitter on deck. You want to get Willie McGee up there. They're not going to walk him because they're not going to rotate to the top of the order with the bases loaded. I was shocked.
Couldn't believe it. Danny in Huntington, Long Island. Hello, Dan.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
What's up, Danny?
Big-time Oriole fan. Very disappointed. I think what you guys should try and do is get Pat Gillick on the phone and see if he thinks that Tarasco makes the catch.
Well, who cares? You know, the Oriole perspective is one thing, Yankees perspective another. No one knows if he makes the catch.
I think it's a fair. I don't think he does. Mike kind of thinks he would have.
I tell you, when I watched it more, though, and I bring in the rule, a clear catch, it would not have been a clear catch. So to me, the idea that that was an easy catch, it's not an easy catch. So from that standpoint, you'd have to put the guy on second base.
But you know what? As Jeter said, he's totally inaccurate. Well, you know, what's the big deal? Because Raines got a single next thing. They would have walked Raines. They would have pitched the Boggs in that situation.
Everything changes.
They would have walked Raines. Never would have gotten a chance to swing the bat in that situation.
Everything changes. But I think if you're going to be fair, Dan, you got to say that play could have gone either way.
All right, we'll be fair on that. Now, Pataki, he cracks me up, too. If he's governor of Maryland, I don't think he's going to be calling up saying...
Well, what do you think, Dan? He's a politician.
I understand, but look at it from this
Dan, where do you live? You live in Baltimore or you live in New York?
I live in New York.
Well, what the heck do you think the governor of New York's going to say? All the Orioles should have won?
Yeah, but wait a second.
It's going to be real popular for him, isn't it?
Yeah, but wait a second. It's easy to say it that way, that the Orioles have all these chances now to come back. It's not easy. I'm 4 outs away from being up 1-0.
And you're not.
Right. Now I got to win. We got to win 4 games.
Live with Orioles. It happens. That's what sports is about. You got to live with it.
Dan, I agree with you 100%. The Orioles were behind the 8 ball as this series started to begin with. They were the underdogs as this series started to begin with. The Yankees had home field to be 4 or 5 outs away in this particular case from winning Game 1, and I don't think the Yankees would have won. Mike disagrees. I don't think that the Yankees have left so many guys on base, had not gotten a big hit the whole game. I don't think the Yankees would have won the game, and I think if you're that close away to stealing a game at Yankee Stadium with all the karma that you had developed, very tough to recover from. I agree with you.
Who is going to pitch tonight?
I have no idea.
One going to be Benitez. He was in from the 7th.
Oh.
Myers.
Maybe Myers.
To Bernie.
Well, maybe Bernie has to get up in the 8th inning against Benitez because he walks Raines.
No, yeah.
Well, he walks Raines with 1 out, then he gets Boggs out 2 out, and then Bernie's up left-handed. So maybe Bernie doesn't even get up in the bottom of the top bottom of the 9th inning. Because if you give him a double, Raines then walks. There's only 1 out man on first and second,
Who's
1 out. Then he gets Boggs out because he can't hit.
Say he's going to get Bernie on that time?
Well, maybe okay, maybe not. But you know what? I take my chances. 2 out, first and second. In the bottom of the 8th with Bernie up left-handed than I would as the way it turned out. Furthermore, if the kid doesn't get involved, maybe Tarasco makes the catch.
Well, that's too far to go. I mean, we don't know about that.
Phil in Maplewood. Hello, Phil.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
What's up, Phil?
Well, I have both a point of agreement and disagreement with Mad Dog. The point of disagreement is your comments about Joe Torre last night. I mean, I don't see what point it would serve him to be honest about that.
How come Andy Pettitte came out with Mike and me and was honest about it?
Yeah, well, Torre's in a different position. He's got to motivate these guys. You know, he's got to be the one that the team looks to for leadership and everything. And I don't see what...
Torre's been around baseball, dog, for 30 years, and he knows one thing. When you get a break, you move on. You say thanks inside, and you move on. That's the way it happens.
I didn't like it. All right, but you know, I love Torre. He's probably been on the short end a million times. Maybe he owes old one.
You're going to get some, you're going to lose some.
What else there,
All right, and with the 12-year-old kid, I mean, I don't think you can persecute him, but by the same token, I mean, I've seen other 12-year-old kids, or kids even younger in some cases, getting escorted out for reaching onto the field. And
well, Phil, let me ask a couple things. Did the kid throw something at the outfielder?
Absolutely not.
Did he throw anything on the field?
No.
Did he do anything to injure a player?
No.
So you just
I think
keep all that in perspective.
I think Mad Dog. I mean, he's right in one sense. Though I really think this kid knew better.
I think he knew better too.
You're getting inside his head. I don't think either of you can do that.
No, you're getting inside his head by saying he didn't know better.
I'm just saying
we don't know.
But you know what? I was 12 years old once.
Mike, I was 12 years old, and I can't remember going to ball games when I was a 12-year-old kid, either Yankee or Shea, and telling myself, you know what? Today I'm going to go out there. I knew better than to put my glove on the playing field when the game was on. Absolutely did.
What'd you bring it for?
To catch a foul ball.
Oh, wait, what if you sit in fair territory? You weren't going to catch one?
If the ball reached the seats.
Oh, come on. You brought your glove to catch a ball.
Mike, you're the same guy on Saturday afternoon who went bonkers
that guy was
foul territory.
That guy was on the field.
He fell over the railing.
Right.
This guy was on the field, too.
And my big problem was that he kicked Jeter in the face. He could have injured him. Did this kid throw a battery at the outfielder? Did he pour soda on him?
No.
Did he do anything like that?
Every Yankee fans have.
No, did this kid? Did this kid do something like that?
No, he did not.
Okay.
133, but he gave the Yankees a tainted win.
No tainted. There's no such thing.
T-A-I-N-T.
It's only tainted in dog's mind. Ain't tainted in anybody else.
Mike, I tell you, there's a lot of people out there who think it's tainted.
Find them for me.
Eddie Coleman. Call him up.
I wonder why.
Eddie was going crazy.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
On the fan. Eddie hated it.
Yeah, I can think of a couple other guys who might be in that same boat.
Sports Radio 66.
So I get on the train last night, and this incredible woman sits next to me and says,
You know, I always judge a man by his shoes, and I couldn't help but notice that you aren't wearing any.
So I explained to her that I was simply en route to the shoe department at Today's Man for the big shoe event that was going on right now. So the first thing I'd be doing after I got off the train was to get myself some shoes.
Oh, I'll bet you're a Florsheim man, or maybe Bostonian. I can see you striding through the city streets in a pair of Rockports and conquering the open seas on the weekends in your yacht-worthy Sabagos.
Well, fortunately, all Today's Man stores carry those brands and lots more. So I went right along with her story. What makes it even better is that, like everything else at Today's Man, all 4,000 pairs of shoes are priced less every day than department store sale prices. And during this big shoe event, there's an in-store coupon for 15% off every pair.